To save up enough money to start up my own business and buy this expensive dress.
Wow, tell me more.
By participating in the Money FM 52-week money challenge.
Huh? 52-week money challenge?
Yes. So what you do is you save weekly by starting with the 10 kwacha the first week, save 20 kwacha the second week, and 30 kwacha the third week, and so on. Add the 10 kwacha to the money that you saved the previous week for the following week, and you would have saved up to 13,780 kwacha
Hello,
after
good
12
evening.
months. And it doesn't end there.
Welcome, we're about to get into the Money Evening News.
And you have a chance to interact with entrepreneurs and financial experts live on radio.
Let me also go and start right away.
Save smart and participate in the 52-week money challenge, an initiative by Money FM, your business radio. Money FM. Money FM. Your business talk radio station. Money FM. .7. Okay. Money Evening News. Money Evening News.
In your financial indicators today, Friday, 28th October 2022, the US dollar is buying at 15 kwacha 99 ngwe and selling at 16 kwacha 13 ngwe. The Great British Pound is buying at 18 kwacha 47 ngwe and selling at 18 kwacha 83 ngwe. The euro is buying at 15 kwacha 95 ngwe and selling at 16 kwacha 26 ngwe. The South African rand is buying at 88 ngwe and selling at 90 ngwe. Those are your financial indicators. The news headlines. Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission approves 147 trade finance projects for funding valued at 68,442,434 kwacha 71 ngwe.
The Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission would like to announce that it received a total of 86,033 business loan applications in the just ended call for applications for 2022.
Kabwata Member of Parliament hands over 1.9 million kwacha Constituency Development Fund grants checks to 48 cooperatives.
First of all, what you must understand that these grants that you are receiving, you are not receiving these grants to represent your interest, but to represent the interest of so many families.
Nigerian trapped foreign airlines fund rises 51% to 700 million United States dollars. Red Arrow's striker says the team is aiming to keep their Super League winning run when they take on Nkana. Hello and welcome to the Money Evening News on Money FM. I am Best Jerry. Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC, says it has approved 147 trade finance projects for funding valued at 68,442,434 kwacha 71 ngwe. CEEC Communications Manager Michelo Mukata reveals to Money FM News that the Commission has also recommended 279 projects for due diligence under the Agricultural Mechanization Loan Product. Mr. Mukata says once the Commission completes the disbursement of the 147 trade finance loans, it will embark on assessment and eventual disbursements under the Marketeer Booster, Information and Communications Technology, Creative Arts and Media loans.
That it received a total of 86,033 business loan applications in the just ended call for applications for 2022. And the majority of the applications were from marketeers for the Marketeer Booster loan product that accounts for 80,650 business loans received. Then we have agro-processing loans accounting for 1,309. Agricultural mechanization accounts for 1,174. We received a total of 971 business loans for trade finance. Light manufacturing received a total of 596. Bulk storage received a total of 76 applications. Auto mechanics received 251 applications. ICT, creative arts, media, and culture loans account for 828.
Mongu Municipal Council has warned truckers that park their vehicles in the Central Business District, CBD, and along major routes which are not designated as parking areas that the law prescribes a penalty fee of 2,500 penalty units, about 750 kwacha for all offenders. Council Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Lupikisha, in a statement, says that this vice is a nuisance to the public and has greatly contributed to the damage of road shoulders within the district. Mr. Lupikisha has since stated that members of the public are also guided to report all trucks that will be parked along CBD and major routes to the authority in Mongu.
Mandates the local authority to control traffic and parking of vehicles in the district. Heavy vehicles or trucks are required to park in areas that have been designated for parking. However, it has been observed with concern that most truckers park their vehicles in the Central Business District and along major roads, which are not designated as parking areas. This vice is, however, a public nuisance and has greatly contributed to the damage of road shoulders within the district. We therefore wish to send a stern warning to drivers that have continued to abrogate this law despite being sensitized. We wish to remind them that the Statute of Ismail number 12 of 2018 prescribes a penalty fee of 2,500 penalty units or 750 kwacha for all offenders that park in unauthorized areas. Members of the public are guided to report all trucks that will be parked along CBD and major routes as those are not parking areas. Thank you.
We take a short break. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
For business on the go, visit www.moneyfmzambia.com to watch, stream, and download various programs from anywhere in the world.
Kabwata Member of Parliament has handed over 1.9 million kwacha Constituency Development Fund CDF Grants checks to 48 cooperatives in the constituency. Speaking in Lusaka during the handover meeting, Andrew Tayengwa notes that each cooperative that has received the grants represents about 20 people, amounting to 980 individuals that will benefit from the total number of beneficiaries, including their families. Mr. Tayengwa cautions recipients from abuse of the grants, urging them to apply the financial literacy knowledge they acquired through the training they had.
Receiving, you are not receiving these grants to represent your interest, but to represent the interest of so many families. Today, we're talking of about 48 cooperatives that are going to benefit. Being an accountant like my chair at the constituency level, we love to follow figures. The 48 cooperatives that are going to receive these grants represents, or each cooperative represents almost about 20 people. The 20 people that you multiply by 48, it will give you 960 individuals that are going to benefit. Out of the 960 individuals that are going to benefit, you discover also that out of the 900, each member of that cooperative represents a family of either 5 people living in that house. If you multiply that number, 960, multiply by 5, it will give you 4,800. So those are the people that.
This is Money Evening News at 17:30. Science and Technology Minister says there is a need for partnerships in the innovation space in order to be able to address the most urgent problems hindering trade, particularly amongst African countries. Felix Mtati, in a statement, says there is no need for African countries to continue on a path of not being connected in the movement of goods and services on a common platform, hence need for something to be done by innovators who have the capabilities. Mr. Mutati says government is cognizant of the fact that beyond the challenges of infrastructure at border posts, many countries still adopt the mode of various paperwork, which as a result holds back trade within Africa, as it is always difficult and expensive to do so. He therefore says it is imperative that innovators and creators seize the moment to deal with the most urgent problems because Africa has dynamic and immense opportunities. Still to come is international and sports news. Stay tuned.
International news. Money International News.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Money Evening News, and now international news. No respite seems to be coming the way of foreign airlines in Nigeria over their funds trapped in the country's foreign exchange difficulties. Vanguard Aviation World gathered that despite the intervention by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, the volume of trapped funds is still rising, hitting $700 million, about 51% from the $346 million in September 2022. August 2022, the CBN said it will release $265 million out of $456 million total outstanding due to the airlines. But in September, the airlines lamented that they were only able to access 50% of $110 million of the amount, leaving a balance of $346 million. According to Vanguard, however, the backdrop of this development, the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, cautioned the foreign airlines against blackmailing the country, stressing that the Apex Bank doesn't and cannot print dollars. Speaking during a meeting between the House of Representatives, International Air Transportation Association, IATN, Airlines Operators of Nigeria, AON, and representatives of the federal government, Emefiele noted that it was unacceptable for foreign airlines to resort to blackmail against the country because of their trapped funds. For more such stories, join us for Africa Business Report at 0845 weekdays. Elon Musk has taken ownership of Twitter's Incorporated with brutal efficiency, firing top executives but providing little clarity over how he will achieve the ambitions he has outlined for the influential social media platform. Reuters reports Musk tweeted the bird is freed after he completed his $44 billion acquisition, referencing Twitter's bird logo in an apparent nod to his desire to see the company have fewer limits on content that can be posted. The chief executive officer of electric car maker Tesla Incorporated and self-described free speech absolutist has, however, also said he wants to prevent the platform from becoming an echo chamber for hate and division. For more of such stories, join us for Global Business Report at 1750 weekdays. This is the Money Evening News at 17:30. In sports news, Red Arrows Football Club striker Joseph Banda says the club has the right mentality going into this weekend Super League Week 10 match against Nkana Football Club. Banda says the Airmen, who are currently topping the league on 20 points, is aiming to keep the winning run regardless of the opponent they are facing. Banda has described playing Nkana as always exciting, adding that this is a match in which Red Arrows players want to score and silence home fans at the Nkana Stadium. Red Arrows will tomorrow face Nkana Football Club at the Nkana Stadium in Kitwe in Week 10 Super League match. Nkana drew 0-0 in their last Super League match against Prison Leopards, while Red Arrows beat Nchanga Rangers 3-1. Corruption and fraud charges against Neymar have been dropped by prosecutors in Spain. The BBC reports the charges were made against the Paris Saint-Germain Brazil forward and others accused in the trial over his 2013 transfer from Santos to Barcelona. Prosecutors had initially sought a 2-year jail term and a €10 million, about £8.6 million fine for the 30-year-old. But they announced the withdrawal of charges against all the accused for all the allegations they had faced. As we end the news, we look at the headlines once again. Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission approves 147 trade finance projects for funding valued at 68,442,434 kwacha 71 ngwe.
Received a total of 86,033 business loan applications in the just ended call for applications for 2022.
Kabwata Member of Parliament hands over 1.9 million kwacha Constituency Development Fund grants checks to 48 cooperatives.
First of all, what you must understand that these grants that you are receiving, you are not receiving these grants to represent your interest, but to represent the interest of so many families.
Nigerian trapped foreign airlines fund rises 51% to $700 million. Red Arrows striker says the team is aiming to keep their Super League winning run when they take on Nkana. For these stories and more, be sure to visit our website on www.moneyfmzambia.com. Follow us on Facebook, Money FM Zambia, on Twitter and Instagram, Money FM Zambia. You can also download our Money FM app from App Store and Google Play Store. And for marketing, contact us on +260967865040 or 0211252237. Thank you for listening to Money Evening News. I am Best Jerry. Good evening. This is Money FM.
Money Evening News. Money Evening News. Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Inflation data shows prices. Inflation data shows that United States prices were still uncomfortably high last month. Elon Musk takes control of Twitter in a $44 billion deal. Yen slips after Bank of Japan stays dovish. It is 17:54 Central African time, and a warm welcome to Global Business Report Friday edition with me, Best Jerry. New inflation data shows that United States prices were still uncomfortably high last month, despite aggressive action from the Federal Reserve to rein in decades-high inflation. CNN reports the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, which measures prices paid by consumers for goods and services, climbed by 0.3% from August to September, but remained unchanged at 6.2% for the year. Core PCE, which strips out volatile food and energy prices and is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation, climbed by 5.1% on annual basis, higher than the August rate of 4.9%, but below the consensus estimate of 5.2% per refinitiv. The head of NatWest, which is part state-owned, has defended the amount of tax big banks pay. Sky Business News reports Alison Rose, the chief executive, says the banks were taxed more than any other sector, more than the financial service sectors in other countries. Speaking on Ian King Live, Ms. Rose says on taxes, the banking sector already pays significant taxes. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has completed his $44 billion, about 38.1 billion pounds takeover of Twitter, according to a filing with the United States government. BBC reports Mr. Musk tweeted the bird is freed and later said, "Let the good times roll." A number of top executives, including the boss, Parag Agrawal, have reportedly been fired, according to BBC. Mr. Agrawal and two other executives were escorted out of Twitter's San Francisco headquarters on Thursday evening. We take a break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
The yen has weakened as the Bank of Japan stuck to its dovish stance, while the dollar was trying to rebound across the board from losses early in the week on expectations that the Federal Reserve will hint at slowing its aggressive pace of rate hikes. CNBC reports the dollar was last up 0.9% against the yen at 147.64 after the Bank of Japan left unchanged its negative 0.1% target for short-term interest rates and its pledge to guide the 10-year bond yield around 0% as expected. The dollar was also firmer on both sterling, which was down 0.24% at $1.15, and the euro, which traded down 0.2% to $0.9947, with investors in a slightly cautious mood. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has downgraded its economic outlook for Asia as global monetary tightening, rising inflation blamed on the war in Ukraine, and China's sharp slowdown dampened the region's recovery prospects. Al Jazeera reports, while inflation in Asia remains subdued compared with other regions, most central banks must continue raising interest rates to ensure inflation expectations do not become de-anchored, the IMF says in its Asia-Pacific Regional Economic Outlook report released today. The IMF cut Asia's growth forecast to 4% this year and 4.3% next year, down 0.9 percentage points and 0.8 points from April respectively, according to Al Jazeera. The slowdown follows a 6.5% expansion in 2021. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to join us for another Global Business Report on Monday. This has been Best Jerry. Stay tuned.
Global Business Report. Get global, go global now on Global Business on Money FM, your business radio.
Money FM. Money FM. Your business talk radio station.